What's going on, family? It's your boy Brandon Berg. Just catching with you guys. Just really want to catch on this video. I actually got two things to really discuss about. But I really want to get into this extreme risk protection order that is a lot of states is looking at, and we had a few states actually adopted the law. So it's going to be enforced very, very soon. Like a lot of people think this is a new law or a new bill. Actually, this actually been on the books sometime, for quite a while. In short, it's called EPRO, but it's Extreme Risk Protection Order. It's a red flag law. It's like a gun control law that permits police or family members with a judge permission to take a firearm from people who pose as a danger to others and themselves. But there's a clause in it, because if the owners show no risk of any mental illness or whatever, or mental is mentally stable to possess a firearm, they can keep their firearm. I know they're implemented this month of February this year, 2018. I know 5 states has already adopted it. It's Oregon, Indiana, California, Connecticut, Washington, and I think they're also talking about introducing it in D.C. But the thing about that, and I do talk about, is you got to be very careful when this type of law is not about to be enforced. Because you think about it, is if the police deem you as a threat, they could have a warrant and confiscate your firearms. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could be used not really for whites, but that could be used for blacks. And as being a black person, I'm a supporter of having individual and having firearms. Now, do you need like R-15s and AK-47s or Uzis and whatever type of semi-automatic military-grade style weapons? I mean, not really, but like I said, they make those guns for a reason. So I mean, there's a lot of gun enthusiasts that they love those type of guns. They collect them. So I don't think but to me, it's not going to affect the white community. It's going to really affect the black community, because that means you're giving police a higher authority that they should not have, and it goes against the Second Amendment. And you got to look about that. Even though you're protected by the Second Amendment, you're not protected by the Second Amendment, because it's almost like the 13th Amendment when they abolished slavery, but they just morphed slavery. Okay, you're free unless you commit a crime. So now you're no longer free, and you lose a lot of status and privilege of being a citizen. So almost like they release you on one part, but they let you in, right? It's like they put you in the cage, let you out of the cage, but now you back into a whole new cage, but it just got a better design to it. And that's the thing you have to look at with this bill, with this law. Actually, not a bill, it's a law. It's going to be a law. So you got to look at what this law can do to black people. If the police got issues with you, they could come in your house and seize your firearms. Don't matter if you got it illegally, you have no problem, because they could deem this as you are a danger. Yes, they might even use a mental illness just to get your guns. And who knows what else they can do. If they get mad, like I said, the crime rate actually been going down in a lot of black community. The crime rate in a lot of white areas and rural areas, but majority white areas, been going up. So yeah, the true of them playing evidence and things to get you locked up, that's always been going on. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take two things into account. This is still organized racism's white supremacy in society that we perceive as I like to call scientific racism in the fold of it. Now, people think like, yeah, it's protecting the children, but this is the law, people. Once it's implemented in the law books, it's there to stay, and that's going to be the law of the land. So I do want people to take precautions. The other point of my discussion is also want to talk about Wakonda and the origin of the name. I always was curious about Wakonda and say like, yo, is this the African name or like where this like how did Stan Lee and that dude Kirby come with the name? So I did some research, you know what I'm saying, on it, and actually it's not African at all. It's actually it's indigenous. It's a Native American name and the spelling is a little bit different. The pronounce is still the same. You know what I'm saying? But the spelling is different. Um, in in the Sioux Nation, because that's it's actually a god. It's a high god of the Sioux Nation. But it's definitely it's pertained to three tribes of the Sioux. You got the Osage, the Omaha, and Ponica tribes, and the pronunciation of it is Wakondah. That's the pronouncing of a lot of Native Americans that spell Wakanda. Um, it's like I said, it's an abstract, it's a omnipresent creative force. It was never personified in the traditional Sioux culture, um, and it was also genderless until you had a lot of English English speakers, American white settlers introduced um, a gender specific pronoun for it, so that to give it some type of a gender. Um, but like I said, it's it's kind of crazy for me. How you gonna give, how you gonna use another racial group belief system? Because this is actually part of their Sioux Nation belief system. This is their belief system. This is like their God. This is their divine creator in their culture. You're gonna use another racial group and put it into a black film, and that's fine and dandy. But and a lot of people say, well, it's South Africa, and I say, well, damn, you don't know what's South Africa. I could say Yusuke, or do that sound Africa? I could say Yoruba, and Yusuke is come from a definition of Yoruba, so it's African. So I would say there's a lot of Japanese words that are African, if you want to say something like that. And a lot of people would disagree with me with that. So I think to me, it's not really disrespect. A lot of the Native American culture, I don't, community really don't find this offensive. They say it's uplifting, it's real positive, show a lot of black people in a better non-traditional positive light than everybody normally perceives them when they're in some type of media form. So there's you know there's no really big issues with pertaining to the Native American community of it, but it's kind of like that name and that what it was supposed to be, what the actual meaning to it, and what they now put into American society and global society. It kind of robbed you. You're robbing part of their culture. you're robbing their traditions, you're robbing their culture, and you're actually, it's almost like a somewhat of attack on their belief system as well. And that's why I don't want people to really get. I want them to at least know this got another meaning to that name. And some part of their culture, the Sioux Nation culture, and those three tribes, that name is still pretend as very sacred. There's actually a plot of land that's named for that. So just want to shine some light to that. But I always think to myself like, well, I think why did Marvel couldn't just use an African type name for it? Like just look in the book and just if you could use a African god or just pick the little African maybe location and then make it into a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand. You know what I'm saying? It's like fiction, so I can see that. But yeah, man, like I said, I haven't seen the movie yet. I've been kind of staying away from a lot of reviews. I know there's going to be a lot of underlying messages, a lot of subliminal messages um, to it. I'm not going. Like I said, I'm not. I already know it's going to be a lot of propaganda in the movie, so I definitely am very aware of that. And I'm glad a lot of other black people is aware of that as well. Um, but like I said, it's a great movie, and it's something to show black people in a little bit more powerful, um, a powerful presence, uplifting um, position. I'm really gonna say spiritual, not like that, but it just give us a better deal on it. Um, but yeah, very very excited. Gonna be watching the movie this weekend, so that's I'll probably do maybe a little bit after I really watch the movie. I'll probably come with my little insight of it, but right now I just want to bring it down the Wakanda part because I always assumed what was the meaning of Wakanda. I didn't really knew the meaning of it, and I never understand where the Marvel come up with the name, how did they make this name up. But now it feels good that it has. I understand where it came from and the meaning of it, and it's a good feeling to know that. But yeah, man, I just want to drop those two deals about it. I'll probably put a link in the description for the um, for the extreme risk protection bit law that's gonna might be placed, but that's a very serious law that I think a lot of people need to look at, especially black people, because it can actually be used against you, um, by especially not just by the main media, but a lot of the police force at hand, knowing what they're dealing with the black community is. But yeah, like I said, I'll leave you guys go. Like I said, man, just hit me up on the comment below. I'm gonna definitely make sure I put the description, the links in the bottom, and I'll hit you guys next time. All right, one.